Louisville police officer files lawsuit against boyfriend of Breonna Taylor. Facebook announced that it is temporarily stopping recommendations of new groups to users ahead of Tuesday's election. Texas early voting exceeds total of all 2016 presidential ballots cast. Scientists find Madagascar chameleon last seen 100 years ago. All this week on Hibiscus Society News. I'm Benjamin Hawk. The Louisville police officer who was shot during the botched narcotics raid on Breonna Taylor's apartment has filed a countersuit against Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly complains that Walker committed battery, assault, and intentional emotional distress. The complaint filed by Mattingly's attorney says that Walker willingly or maliciously fired at the officer who was struck in the femoral artery in his upper thigh. Walker, a licensed gun owner, has said numerous times he believed intruders had entered his home in the middle of the night and he was defending himself against unknown assailants. Walker also has a pending suit against the city for the raid. To Officer Mattingly, here's a thought. Next time you're going to do a raid, announce you're the police. This sounds too much like the burglar suing the homeowner because he cut himself on the glass from the window he broke. Facebook announced Friday that they are temporarily stopping recommendations of new groups ahead of Tuesday's election. The announcement came a day after Fuckerburg said he was concerned about the elevated risk of disturbances in the U.S. stemming from the election. I would quote him, but I really don't care to. However, this also comes with the second announcement that it will limit the distribution of the Save Our Children hashtag due to its connections with the conspiracy theory group QAnon, which Facebook banned earlier this month. Once again, the fascist Silicon Valley tells us how to think, even though there are over 200,000 children moved across our country yearly, being sex trafficked and forced into prostitution. But yes, it's all one big conspiracy. God forbid we raise awareness of that with Save Our Children hashtags. Texans have already cast more ballots in the 2020 election than they did during all of 2016, an unprecedented surge of early voting in a state that was once the country's most reliably Republican, but now may be drifting towards battleground status. More than 9 million ballots have been cast as of Friday morning in the nation's second most populous state, exceeding the 8,969,226,100 cast in 2016, according to an Associated Press tally of early votes from the data provided by Texas officials. Talk about good camouflage. Scientists say they found an elusive chameleon species that last spotted in Madagascar 100 years ago. Researchers from Madagascar and Germany said Friday that they discovered several living specimens of Volt's-nosed chameleon during an expedition to the northwest of the African island nation. In a report published in the journal Salamandra, the team led by scientists from the Bavarian Natural History Collections ZSM said genetic analysis determined that the species is closely related to Laborde's chameleon. Researchers believe that both reptiles only live during the rainy season, hatching from eggs, growing rapidly, sparring with rivals, mating, and then dying a few short months later. These animals are basically the mayflies among vertebrates, said Frank Glaw, curator for reptiles and amphibians at the ZSM. That's pretty cool. Well, this concludes this week's broadcast. For all those fighting on the front lines abroad and at home, keep up the fight. You are not alone. To supportive law enforcement who follow their oaths to the Constitution, keep up the good work. And to all feds, tyrannical police, and informants, as always, fuck you. I'm Benjamin Hawk, and this is Hibiscus Society News. Good night.